Hi, this is the third in my series of video lessons for ukulele players on music theory. If you haven't watched the first two in this series yet and you're new to these concepts, you might want to watch those two first. You'll find them on my YouTube channel, Pete Ferrugia Guitar Teacher. Also, I need to say that there are quite a few diagrams that go with this particular video lesson, so you might want to download and print out the PDF document that comes with it. You'll find a link to this document in the description below the video on YouTube. Okay, let's begin with the circle of fifths. In the previous lesson, we introduced the concept of the 12 keys in music. Each of these keys has a major scale and a relative natural minor scale. As musicians, we need to know the notes and the chords that belong to each of these keys. The circle of fifths is a useful way to remember which sharps or flats to include in each key. It's usually represented as a diagram, like this one on screen now. In this circle of fifths diagram, there are 3 rings of information, each in a different colour. The green ring is the major keys, from C going clockwise round to F. The red ring is the minor keys, from A minor to D minor. The blue ring shows the number of sharps or flats in each key. To prove that the information in the circle of fifths is correct, we can use the table that's on screen now. Each row of the table shows us the notes in a major scale. The scale degrees from 1 to 8 are also given their proper names: tonic, supertonic, etc. The most important ones for this discussion are going to be the tonic, number 1, the dominant, number 5, and the leading note, number 7. That's sometimes also called the leading tone. We can work out the notes of each major scale from the major scale formula: tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. We start with the C major scale. As you can see, this has no sharps or flats. The 2 semitone steps in the formula happen to fall on E to F and B to C, which, unlike the other alphabetic notes, don't have any sharp or flat notes between them. Next, we go to the dominant, the 5th note of the C major scale, which is G. This becomes our new tonic, our new first note. And using the major scale formula, we find that the leading note, the 7th, is F sharp. So the key of G major has 1 sharp. The dominant note of the G major scale is D, so let's make that our new tonic. The major scale formula gives us the notes, and we see that the new key has inherited the F sharp from the previous key, and that it has also gained a new sharp in the leading note position, which is C sharp. So the key of D major has 2 sharps. Once again, we take the dominant note and make it our new tonic, A. This time, F sharp and C sharp are inherited from the previous key, and the new sharp leading note is G sharp. So the key of A major has 3 sharps. The pattern continues. The key of E major has 4 sharps. F sharp, C sharp and G sharp are inherited from the previous key, and the new sharp leading note is D sharp. The key of B major has 5 sharps. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp and D sharp are inherited from the previous key, and the new sharp leading note is A sharp. The next key's tonic is itself a sharp, F sharp. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp and A sharp are inherited from the previous key, and the new sharp leading note is E sharp. Hang on, what's this note E sharp? Up to now, we've always said that that note doesn't exist. After all, on the piano, there is no black key between the white keys E and F. And on the ukulele, the note E is followed by the note F. Well, a tone above the 6th note D sharp is actually F. As this is the key of F sharp, this could get a bit confusing, especially when reading music notation. So the rules of enharmonic spelling are invoked, and these are: a major scale must rise according to the letters of the alphabet. No letter can be skipped. And a single letter of the alphabet cannot occur twice in any major scale. So we can't call the leading note of the F sharp major scale F, we have to pretend that it's called E sharp. At this point we could remember that all sharp notes actually have another name, which is flat. In this case the key of F sharp becomes the key of G flat. So the key of G flat has 6 flats instead of 6 sharps. It also contains the odd note C flat, which is actually B. We can't call it B because this key already has B flat. Things are getting out of hand. What about the next key? Is it C sharp or is it D flat? Now all 7 notes in the key of C sharp are sharps, and 2 of them, E sharp and B sharp, are actually really F and C, but we can't call them that. But if we call this new key D flat, then instead of gaining a sharp, we're losing a flat. Also, there are no oddly named notes. There are 5 flats in the key of D flat major: D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat and B flat. So it makes sense to continue with only flat keys. The dominant of D flat is A flat. The leading note G loses its flat, so now there are 4 flats: A flat, D flat, E flat and B flat. The dominant of A flat is E flat. The leading note D loses its flat, leaving 3 flats: E flat, A flat and B flat. The dominant of E flat is B flat. The leading note A loses its flat, leaving 2 flats: B flat and E flat. The dominant of B flat is F. The leading note E loses its flat, leaving only 1 flat, B flat. And the dominant of F is C, which is back where we started. So we've travelled around all 12 keys in fifths, from C back to C, and that's why it's called the circle of fifths. A word now about the relative minor keys. Each major key has a relative minor key which contains exactly the same notes. To find the relative minor, go to the submediant, that's the 6th note of the major scale. For example, the relative minor of C major is A minor. The circle of fifths diagram includes a ring of minor keys shown in red. Of course, the number of sharps and flats for any specific major key is also true of its relative minor key. And now, key signatures. Music can be written down in standard music notation on a stave of 5 lines, together with the spaces in between and above the lines. Ukulele music uses the treble clef, which is written as an ornamental letter G. Here it is. Each line on the stave represents a note which can be either natural, sharp or flat. From the bottom line, these notes are E, G, B, D and F. Some people remember this as follows: every good boy deserves fruit, or every good boy deserves favour. The spaces in between the lines also represent notes, and these are F, A, C and D, which of course spells face. So the notes go up the alphabet sequentially as they go up the stave: E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E and F. The spaces above and below the stave can also be used to continue the sequence, and small leisure lines can also be used, as you can see in this diagram. With standard music notation, the first thing we see to the right of the clef is the key signature. This tells us which notes are to be played as sharps or flats, and consequently which key the music is in. Here are the key signatures. The key of C major and the key of A minor has no sharps or flats and therefore has no key signature. The key of G major, E minor, has one sharp. The key of D major, or B minor, has two sharps. The key of A major, which is F sharp minor, has three sharps. The key of E major, or C sharp minor, has four sharps. The key of B major, or G sharp minor, has five sharps. The key of F sharp major, or D sharp minor, has six sharps. This is equivalent to the key of G flat major, or E flat minor, which has six flats. The key of D flat major, or B flat minor, has five flats. The key of A flat major, or F minor, has four flats. The key of E flat major, or C minor, has three flats. The key of B flat major, or G minor, has two flats. The key of F major, or D minor, has one flat. So there it is, we've been through all 12 keys now. Finally, here are two important scale shapes. Both scales are movable, which means that as they have no open strings, they can be transposed into different keys simply by moving up the neck of the ukulele. So first of all, here's D flat major, starting here at the first fret on the third string with the note D flat, which is also called C sharp, of course, but in this context we're going to call it D flat. So here we go. There it is, and to transpose that into different keys, all you have to do is move the shape up the neck. And we're going to use that same note there, but this time I'm going to call it C sharp, and this time it's the C sharp natural minor scale. Here we are. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching. See you next time.